It's the podcast of members, by members, for members. UPMA Today starts now.
Welcome to UPMA Today. I'm Drew Martin. Are you interested in career advancement? Do you want to move up? For anyone looking to apply for a new EAS position, including craft employees hoping to land their first management job, getting started can be challenging. The most recent user instructions for the Postal Service's e-profile and e-career programs were written way back in 2008 and 2011. To make navigating the system easier for UPMA members, President Tony Leonardi has put together a new national KSA team of highly qualified advisors to assist applicants of all levels all across the country. Effectively describing your KSAs, that is the knowledge, skills, and abilities required for the job you want, will now be a much easier process, according to the team leaders I spoke with recently at UPMA's annual legislative summit just outside Washington, D.C.
Last summer at career awareness conferences, President Tony realized the easiest way to sign an associate member was to tell them, I'll help you with your e-career. So while he knew that there were people all over the nation in chapters already helping with e-careers, his vision was to standardize a national plan that would be available to everybody from Barra, Alaska to Puerto Rico, simply by putting in their name and answering a few questions on the website.
I love the mission of the group because I've seen some talented people. They can do the job, but they can't get that onto paper. So now this group is going to direct people to be able to fill out their KSAs and actually show what they can do and show their full potential. So this group is going to take some really raw talent and bring it to the Postal Service's attention and make it where they can get promoted.
We want it to be the easiest thing for anyone to read so that we know when you apply for that position that the most elementary individual can look at it and know that you're qualified.
We're going to keep up with the number of people we assist, how we get them from career conferences, how we get them from podcasts like this, from information in local chapter newsletters and at state conventions where you say, hey, do you need help with an e-career? And somebody raises their hand. Well, this is how you do it. So we'll go through, do you have an e-profile set up? How do you do this? Do you have an e-career set up? How do you do this? And from there on, we will help them until they get a e-career that's minimally acceptable to put in for a job.
And the effort here that you're engaged in with the group is really starting to pick up some steam already, is it not?
Oh, it is. I'm already getting calls. Oh, you're I was given your number. I was given that, to call. I'm sure other members of the team have received the same thing.
Yeah.
The word's out already.
Well, I'm excited about this program because I think it's needed to spread the love around the country. I've served on review boards for over 20 years, as well as helped people with their e-career. I like to push the STAR format, although it's not required, and I'm sure to tell everybody that. It makes it easier for everybody doing their e-career. They don't understand that if you have a situation or task, then you know you have action and a result from that. And it just makes it flow for them, and just so they don't have to think so hard on a KSA.
I'm on many review boards, and what we see is about 80% of the people that apply for positions don't even get that opportunity to get an interview because they do not have minimally acceptable KSAs. So, and that's both on the craft side and the EAS side. So we really see the need to help people prepare their applications. What I often see is those who have been successful in the past in getting that EAS position, but they aren't able to get to that next level. And usually it's just one small thing within their KSAs that can negatively impact them to get to that next step.
You say a small change.
Mm-hmm.
People don't always appreciate just how close they are.
Right.
They've got the experience.
Definitely.
They just have to communicate it
Right,
better.
right.
And that's where you come in.
And it is a process that can be frustrating, but just to have another set of eyes look at their application is so important.
So I'm like the school teacher or the professor at school, and I'm going to grade that with a red pen, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to give it back to you and say, all right, this might be average, but I want you to be exceptional.
It's amazing when somebody hands you their KSAs, but when they're given the proper direction, how it goes from maybe even less than mediocre to fantastic because they have direction from people like that are in this group.
But we have gone a little step forward and made it easy ways for you to see how to fill out a STAR, a situation and a task, and then the actions. The actions are really the way you show your knowledge, skill, and ability, which is the requirement. And then the results. The quantitative results is always better if you have one to show. Post office loves increases in productivity, increases in sales, reduction in overtime, reduction in accident, those kind of things. So quantitative results really makes an impact. A lot of the people do not understand what happens when they get their e-career and they apply for a job and they hit the button. They don't understand that there's a review committee that reviews everyone and gives them between a 0 and a 3. If you get a 0 on any one of the requirements, then you're thrown out of the package. So if nobody helps them to understand what the criteria are, what the goal is to be successful at that, then they'll never get to the place that they get the interview, even if they've been doing the job for years.
They think they're telling us what they need to tell us, what they know, but we actually need to know their experience, their life experiences. I didn't understand it when I first was doing it, and I wasn't getting interviews. Well, I went back, I reread the instructions, word for word, and I just put it on paper like they said, and the next thing I know, I'm getting interviews.
It's an educational process to know what you're trying to accomplish, the post office rules to do it, the tips that we have from decades of experience doing it with people to be successful, to find that what we call the sweet spot. And we have different teams in every area of the post office because there's different information about what they call equipment, about what they call processes, whether it's a drop box or a blue box, whether it's a cart or a gurney, all of those kind of things. And when you write your summaries, your stars, you want it to be authentically you. So that because integrity is huge. Lose your integrity, you can never get it back. So you never copy somebody else's star. You tell your own story, the things that you've accomplished.
There was a rural carrier that was in OICing in an office. They put in for the job. They didn't get an interview. Somebody else got an interview that never OIC'd. So their postmaster said, hey, Kathy, can you look at their KSAs? Well, the person that actually got an interview that never OIC'd, I had helped them with their KSAs. So the things they had done in an office, they really could present that to the review board. They got it, and they ended up actually getting the job. So then the postmaster said, hey, can you look at my rural carriers? And I looked at it, and I saw there was a lot of meat and potatoes there, but they weren't getting across the fact that they were qualified. They were not saying what action they took. They said, I do this, I do that. They didn't do the star. And once I directed them and helped them, which was really rewarding, they redid their KSAs. They put in for 3 jobs. They got 3 interviews, and then they got the job. It's those kind of things where you're helping people, and they just need that little bit of direction and skill. They've got the potential, and to bring somebody from not getting interviews, and they're talented people, to getting interviews, and hey, then they have to get the job is really very rewarding. But to actually have this formatted and have it a nationwide program, this is going to have a huge impact on our associate members' lives. When you go from craft to a level 17, the financial impact is unbelievable, and the change in their life is unbelievable.
So after they've been benefited by this program, do you think they're going to be able to help other people too?
Oh, definitely. They hopefully will encourage others, especially the craft employees that are coming in at ground level and looking for help with taking that next step in upward mobility.
When it's their own story, when they get to the interviews, it's easy for them to sit across and explain that to somebody else. And that's our goal.
You can tap into the KSA team's expertise and put it to work for you by logging on to our website, unitedpma.org. Click on Career Development, then KSA Assistance. You'll enter your name and contact information, your current position and location, and answer a couple of questions. KSA Team coordinators will take a close look at what you've submitted and assign a team member to reach out and help you get ready to apply for that next position you want. Well, that'll just about do it for this episode. Thanks for joining us. Please share this video and subscribe to the UPMA Today channel. Hit that thumbs up if you like, and leave us a comment too. I'm Drew Martin, and you're watching UPMA Today.
It's unbelievably rewarding to see our potential leaders flourish. And the people that I've helped, do you think that they don't love UPMA? They love UPMA.
Yes, they
because do. They'll do anything. Now, those people are going to my state conventions because Kathy says, hey, let's get to the convention, let's get involved. They're the future of UPMA.
UPMA Today is produced by the members of the United Postmasters and Managers of America. Check out episodes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. For more information or to join UPMA, go to www.unitedpma.org.